Red Bull Racing's Max Verstappen, who's the current Formula One world champion, has a lot of abilities up his sleeve. Verstappen has risen to become one of the best Formula One drivers at just 24 years of age. Isn't that something to marvel at? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about why most drivers hate racing Max Verstappen. Stay tuned as we dig deeper into this. To begin with, they fear racing him because he's among the best drivers. Max Verstappen's achievements speak for themselves. No one would live to walk bravely into a duel that they know that they definitely would lose. Max Verstappen, who has risen through the ranks to be among the best drivers ever since becoming the youngest race winner at just 18 years old in 228 days at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, commands fear among his fellow drivers. He's achieved 19 pole positions, 34 wins, and 21 fastest laps in 2 world championships. Don't you find that pretty cool? With Verstappen, the sky is the limit. Verstappen, the reigning F1 world champion, led the most laps on his way to a dominant victory at the Belgian Grand Prix, which made him just the second driver in the history of F1 to win 2 consecutive races from starting positions of 10th or lower. He's been successful from the time that he raced karts, to the time that he drove for Scuderia Toro Rosso, to the time that he drove for Red Bull. The fact that he's been able to keep up this level of success means that he's nothing short of splendid. He's maintained being competitive at the top level, and that in itself makes most other drivers hate racing him because they know the odds of them losing are very high. Going on, we can't talk about Verstappen without mentioning Oracle Red Bull Racing. Having a good team aids in developing the best winning strategies. Christian Horner, the principal of Red Bull Racing, leads a fantastic team. During the 2021 Grand Prix season, Max Verstappen showed brilliance when his car managed to cruise at speeds that other teams just couldn't keep up with. Lewis Hamilton, who is the defending champion, said during an interview at Mercedes that they didn't have an answer for Red Bull's speed. It takes a good and a well-organized team to engineer a car that sparks fear among your rivals. The harmonious relationship between Max and Horner goes on to show further that there is a synergy in the organization of the Red Bull Racing team. Having American technology giant Oracle on their team has aided them in installing sensors in the cars that aid in race analysis and design changes. Red Bull makes up to 1,000 tweaks to the car's design between races, and this makes the car 2 seconds faster by the end of the season. Red Bull Racing also has a great history, which is a big part of the team's success, and it makes Verstappen unstoppable. All puns intended. Next up, the strategies employed by Red Bull Racing. It's commonly said that if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. Max's success can't be attributed to having a fast car alone, but also to the strategies employed by his team. In a sport where victory can come down to tenths or hundredths of a second shaved off during qualifying, pit stops, and races, Red Bull has become a master at accumulating marginal gains to achieve success. Max is the current defending champion thanks to his strategies and effective team management. Having a fast car isn't the only hack to winning. Hamilton was getting more than 5 extra kilometers per hour when Max stopped, which makes such a big deviation when it comes to F1. It's because of this that the brilliant strategies made by the team propelled him to beat the other teams and become the champion for the 2021 Grand Prix season. A good show of Red Bull's muscle and strategy was seen during the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Hamilton was clearly cruising to victory, but Max still managed to be the champion. Despite the fact that Max has what most people might refer to as a forced start of the 2022 season, which can be attributed to the new regulations that necessitated engine changes, his strategy team is still on point. Verstappen's ability to stay calm has also contributed to him being unstoppable. Max is one of the best drivers and qualifiers in the sport right now, and to a large extent that weighs on his ability to stay calm under pressure. And this is despite him being just 24 years old. His race temperament has contributed largely to his success. He rarely makes mistakes on the racetrack, and he holds himself in high esteem for being able to adjust accordingly to different situations. Right from his junior racing days, he's never bothered with qualifying, and his focus has always been on doing his best to grasp the win on race day while paying little attention to the qualifying lap. Maturity has come to Max with age, and he's currently among the best qualifiers in the sport, making him a force to be reckoned with. Calmness enables him to coordinate with his team well during moments of intense pressure, which makes him a better driver. It helps him keep his head in the race. Moving on, we focus on Verstappen's mindset. You don't become a 2-time world champion if you're not among the best drivers. Most drivers know that it's going to be a long day when Max is behind them during a race. He pushes other drivers to their limits by pressing them from behind, and then launches himself into some of the game's most difficult overtaking maneuvers. Verstappen has proven his worth. just like other F1 legends who have performed the greatest overtaking maneuvers known to man, even on the track in Monaco, he was able to steal a couple of wins from Lewis Hamilton back when Mercedes was unbeatable, due to his ability to overcome pace deficits on the track. Most importantly, Verstappen has a winning mentality. This mindset has helped him become one of the best drivers and has also helped uplift the Red Bull racing team. He knows that his spot is in front, and he'll do his best to be ahead without regard for other competitors. That also shows that he's a focused driver, who has his eye on the prize and he won't be distracted by rivalries and other things. He admitted that his relationship with Hamilton off the track couldn't be described as friendly, but he still manages to get on the track with a clear and focused mind. This contributes greatly to him being a better driver, who other drivers dread racing. Carrying on, we have Verstappen's technical abilities. His technical abilities have exceeded what is normally expected of a driver. Technical ability refers to the driver's understanding of the machinery that's put in front of him. And in the case of Max Verstappen, there isn't a single part of his car that surpasses his understanding. That's how he's able to pull off some magnificent maneuvers, racing as though he and the car are one. He's adapted his driving technique to correspond with the car's capabilities. Seems like he knows the car too well, like it was his own palm. There was an instance where he complained that something was off with his car, but the Red Bull racing team, who looked at data from his car, told him that there was no problem with the car. His instincts led him to believe that a nut had come loose or that something was wrong. He later retired from the race as his car developed a problem that his team couldn't foresee, yet he felt that it was there. The Verstappen of 2022 knows when to take risks and when to pull off one of those magical overtakes, and the result has been an outstanding performance throughout the 2022 season. It takes a great and incredible driver to possess such skills. His technical abilities can be clearly seen in his feedback to his team. This shows that Max is such a formidable opponent on the track that other drivers, again, don't like racing him. Lastly, Verstappen's aggressiveness makes him to be hated. His aggressive nature has been with him ever since he started racing at the top level. A former F1 driver was heard saying that Verstappen is hated by all drivers because of his on-track antics. During the Monaco Grand Prix in 2015, he clipped the back of Roman Grosjean's car and crashed into the barriers. He was branded as dangerous after that incident by one of Williams' drivers. Lewis Hamilton also said during that last season of Drive to Survive that Verstappen's a bully. It's evident that Verstappen has little patience when it comes to competing in a race. Max has mastered the ability to pressure his opponents, and that's caused, well, plenty of issues. The incident at Monza could have been avoided by both him and Lewis Hamilton. On top of this, there is a reason why the FIA banned the little trick that he used at the end of the safety car. In other scenarios, Verstappen's arrogance has put him in the limelight in certain situations where he should have opted to be humble. When someone offered him winning tips, he was overheard saying during an interview that he didn't need them. There's no doubt at all that he knows how to win and that he's an experienced driver, but a little humility wouldn't harm him. Arrogance might sound in some ways a little like pride, which may make other drivers shy away from racing against him. These are just some of the reasons why other drivers hate competing against the newest world champion, Max Verstappen. What do you think of the drivers' racing styles, though? Which one's the best? Who are you rooting for this season? Let us know in the comment section down below. Well guys, that marks the end of our video today, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing F1 content. Thanks for watching.